Ever wonder why your heart seems to ignore those subtle red flags in relationships? Those subtle warning signs we often brush aside until they become impossible to ignore. It's a topic that hits close to home for many of us, whether we're navigating college life, building careers, or just trying to figure out this whole love thing. These warning signs start as quiet whispers before they transform into unavoidable issues that demand our attention. Think of hidden red flags as those tiny cracks in a seemingly perfect facade. They're not the obvious deal breakers that grab headlines, but rather those quiet little behaviors that can snowball into bigger issues if we're not paying attention. Just like scrolling through social media and seeing posts about perfect relationships while knowing there are underlying issues, these warning signs often hide beneath a polished surface. Let's break down some of these sneaky signals that often fly under our emotional radar. First up is excessive people-pleasing. You know, when someone constantly puts their own desires on the back burner just to keep things smooth. While it might seem sweet at first, it can actually mask deeper issues with self-expression and relationship balance. This behavior might look like always agreeing with their partner's restaurant choice, or never expressing their own preferences about weekend plans. Then there's the murky world of vague boundaries. When personal space and independence become fuzzy concepts, that's usually not a great sign. It's like having a contract where all the important details are written in invisible ink, bound to cause confusion down the line. This might manifest as uncertainty about whether it's okay to spend time with friends alone, or confusion about what constitutes acceptable behavior within the relationship. In our hyper-connected world, over-reliance on digital communication has become another subtle red flag. Sure, those heart emojis and constant DMs feel nice, but if deep face-to-face conversations are being replaced by endless texting, something might be amiss. It's like trying to satisfy your hunger with pictures of food. Eventually, you need something more substantial. Real connection requires genuine presence and engagement beyond the screen. Inconsistent communication patterns deserve attention too. When someone's emotional availability fluctuates like a temperamental Wi-Fi connection, hot one minute, cold the next, it might be more than just busy schedules at play. This could look like passionate conversations followed by days of silence, or enthusiastic planning followed by last-minute cancellations. And let's not forget about the rush to forever, that whirlwind romance that moves faster than a TikTok trend. While intense connections are exciting, racing to the finish line might mean missing important checkpoints along the way. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Why do we tend to ignore these warning signs? Well, our brains can be quite the tricksters when it comes to love. That cocktail of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin can make us wear some pretty powerful rose-colored glasses. We become optimism ninjas, capable of explaining away almost any concerning behavior, choosing to focus on the positives while minimizing or completely overlooking the negatives. Fear plays a significant role too. Sometimes it's easier to pretend everything's fine than to face uncomfortable conversations. We might tell ourselves, it's just a phase, or they'll change, until those temporary quirks become permanent features. The fear of confrontation can be particularly powerful, making us avoid addressing issues until they've grown too large to ignore. Plus, we've all grown up on a steady diet of romantic movies and stories that paint love as this perfect, flawless adventure. Reality's version, with its imperfections and challenges, can feel like a letdown in comparison. But don't worry, there are practical ways to keep your heart both open and smart. Start with mindful reflection. Regular check-ins with yourself about how you're truly feeling in the relationship. Journaling can be surprisingly helpful in spotting patterns you might otherwise miss. Ask yourself questions like, am I feeling truly heard and respected? Or, are my needs being met in this relationship? Having open conversations about expectations is crucial too. Yes, it might feel about as comfortable as wearing wet socks at first, but it's way better than letting issues simmer until they boil over. These conversations can cover everything from communication styles to personal boundaries and future goals. Don't underestimate the value of outside perspectives either. Sometimes friends and family can see things we're too close to notice. They might pick up on patterns or behaviors that we've normalized but shouldn't have. Trust that gut feeling. Your intuition is like your personal relationship GPS. If something feels off, even if you can't quite explain why, it's worth paying attention to. This inner wisdom often picks up on subtle cues before our conscious mind can process them. And keep educating yourself about healthy relationship dynamics through books, podcasts, and reliable resources. The more you understand about what makes relationships work, the better equipped you'll be to spot potential issues early. Remember, spotting red flags isn't about being cynical or expecting perfection. It's about maintaining a healthy balance between romantic optimism and practical awareness. Think of it as being both the dreamer and the realist in your love story. You can still believe in love while being smart about protecting your emotional well-being. Love is indeed beautifully messy, and that's part of what makes it so special. The key is to celebrate the good while staying grounded in reality. Keep investing in yourself, maintain your identity, and remember that acknowledging red flags early isn't pessimistic. It's protective. It's about ensuring that your relationship adds value to your life rather than depleting it. By keeping these insights in mind, you're not just setting yourself up for a better relationship experience, you're ensuring that your love story is one that truly serves your happiness and well-being. After all, the best relationships are built on a foundation of both heart and smarts, where both partners feel seen, heard, and valued for exactly who they are. When you combine awareness with genuine care and communication, you create the potential for a relationship that's not just exciting at the start, but fulfilling and sustainable in the long run.
All right, that's a wrap for today's episode. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more tips to improve your English. And hey, if you want to take your learning to the next level, check out the books I've linked in the description. These are some of the best resources to boost your vocabulary, grammar, and confidence in English. Blast off!